lovelies, welcome back to a Coffee with Cass. I polled you guys on social media if you wanted the next Coffee with Cass to be soft-spoken or if you wanted it to be a whisper. And it was so close, so I feel like I'll do soft-spoken and whisper throughout this Coffee with Cass to please you all, because it was very, very close. Today's episode of Coffee with Cass, I'm going to be reading off this list of questions that I compiled from various sources, and it's basically going to be 60 plus thought-provoking questions that I just found on various websites. So sit back, relax, make yourself a cup of coffee, a tea, grab a blanket. I've been freezing all day, so I'm huddled up next to my heater and will be drinking my warm coffee as we have this thought-provoking questions. Coffee with Cass. Snuggle up, everyone. Today I'm drinking just a medium roast coffee with some soy milk and sweet and low. Alright, let us begin. Questions. How old would you be if you didn't know how old you were? I think I would easily be older than my age group, because I've always been very different from my age group, even when I was a teenager. So I would put myself easily into the 30s, or even possibly the 40s, perhaps. I'm 25, so I would definitely age myself a couple decades. That would probably be more fitting for me personally. Which is worse, failing or never trying? So I feel like the obvious answer for a lot of people would be the, never trying type of thing. For me, it's a lot different because in the past, I've pushed myself so hard to try and then have failed, and that failure has been so hard on me, because I'm very hard on myself, that I almost wish that I'd never tried. So it depends on the situation, but the positive side of my brain says, just try and fail. At least you tried. But the negative side of my brain says, don't risk it. Don't risk the failure, if that makes any sense. What is one thing you'd most like to change about the world? I think people's need for power, because that can relate to a lot of different things. People's need to be in charge or forget about the less important people. Power can also relate to money. People's need to be rich and forget about people that are not so rich. If you got rid of people's need to have so much power, I think it would solve a variety of issues in our world. Are you doing what you believe in, or are you settling for what you are doing? I think both. I personally believe in a lot of the things that I'm doing in my life. I always have. I've always been very, set to my own path type of situation. But at the same time, I feel like I need to push myself a little bit more, and have for a while, with new things, so that I can fully believe in what I'm doing and I'm not settling. So both. If the average human lifespan was 40 years, how would you live your life differently? that kind of goes back to that last question. Maybe like force myself to, you know, go outside my comfort zone a little bit more, I guess you could say. Perhaps not let worry or fear hold me back. To what degree have you actually controlled the course your life has taken? I think pretty well, because like I said, I've been on my own path type of thing, so I've made a lot of my life choices without letting others influence me, which I think can be good and bad. You know, I can be very stubborn and no, I'm gonna do it this way type of thing, but I've made a lot of choices that have like set me on, you know, this path, I guess you could say. I guess a good example of that would be at one point I got into a school in California, and I was debating about going, and then I decided not to go. And then in turn, I found other things that have changed my life. One of those being starting this YouTube channel. So that like set me by choosing not to go down to California. I started this channel, and a few other things happened. Or leaving my past job, that was like a decision that was fully mine, and I feel like I've been a lot happier in my life with that decision. So I think I make a lot of my own decisions. If you could offer a newborn child only one piece of advice, what would it be? I always say, like, be true to yourself, which sounds incredibly corny. I know, but it's so true, because often so many of us are like seeking approval from everyone else, and I do it too, so I can't be like judgmental to others that do it, because I do it too. Even though I try to stick to my own path or whatnot, I still seek approval in different aspects. But if you be true to yourself, even during hard times, it can benefit you a lot. Like, if I could tell myself that in high school, that would be great. What's something you know you do differently than most people? Live. Like, I live very differently from most people my age, and that is both positive and negative. I'm not perfect. My life is nowhere near perfection, but I'm a lot different than people in my age bracket, so I just simply live a lot differently than the people around me, you could say. How come the things that make you happy don't make everyone happy? Because not everyone is the same. Something that might make me happy might not make you happy, or your family member happy, or your best friend happy, because everybody's different. So of course your happiness would be different and not always please everyone. What one thing have you not done that you really want to do? Travel. And I say this so often, and I never do it. This is something that I need to push myself to do. But travel is a big one. It's always when I answer questions or I think about things I want to do, traveling is always on the top of the list. And who knows, maybe I would start to travel and I'd hate it. But I still need to try it, because I've done a little bit of traveling, but nowhere near as much as I'd like to. I think I actually noted with this question, yes, I noted for me current top 10 places to visit, because I need to push myself, but there are so many different places around the entire world that I would love to see. But when I was like copying all these questions down, I decided to make like a little top 10 list to mention for you guys. So currently top places I would love to visit. We have California, and I'm not overly partial, but San Francisco is high on the list. I've just always wanted to see San Francisco. New York City, Canada, which is, pretty large, but, maybe like British Columbia. I don't know. Not sure. Mexico is another one. I'm not sure entirely where, but I would love to go to Mexico. Australia. I would love to see the reef, like, before it's, like, completely gonzo, right? But that plane ride is hella long. So long, guys. Italy, lots of places, like that entire country. England as well as Ireland, Hawaii, Greece, and a million other places. Those are just some that I thought of when I was copying this question down. There's so many places within the United States and out of the United States. And going along with that question, what's holding you back? So essentially, what's holding me back from traveling? And money is a big thing, isn't it, for everything? As well as, I feel like I would feel a lot more comfortable if I actually had someone that wanted to travel with me, because I can be fairly independent, but the idea of traveling alone sometimes piques my anxiety. So I think if I had like a travel companion, that would be better, but that's not gonna happen. Let's see. Are you holding on to something you need to let go of? I hold on to a lot of anxiety and worry that I should probably let go of. Alright, let's switch to a whisper. What is the difference between being alive and truly living? So, I think that would depend on the person, because, as I said, everyone is different. So being truly alive, or what was it? Being alive and truly living. Someone may feel that they are truly living with the life that they lead, while someone might switch back to soft spoken, in and out for you guys. Is there something that most people don't know about you? So, a lot of people don't know that I had to take a speech class when I was in kindergarten, and I don't remember when I stopped, but there were some words that I just didn't pronounce correctly, and my mom wanted me, to get into speech class early, and the school district didn't want to because they said I was too young. They wanted me to wait, which was a little funny because then I would have fell behind school systems. But my mom pushed for me to go early, and start kindergarten, start speech classes while I was in kindergarten. So for I think a couple years I was in speech class and perfected some of the things that I said, and I still struggle with some words sometimes if you've ever seen some of my bloopers, but for the most part it was completely corrected and I never really faced any struggles with it in the rest of my school years. When was the last time I told myself I am enough? Probably never. That's really sad, but I'm extremely judgmental of myself. I'm very hard on myself. So I mean, obviously sometimes I'm proud of myself or I'm happy with myself, but to fully say I am enough, I don't know if that's ever been the case. When was the last time I did something nice for myself? Well, recently you may know that I took a couple weeks off of YouTube for mental health after my grandfather passed. But that's a really bad example because, a death in the family shouldn't be the reason you do something nice for yourself. But I did also, as I said, I just got a new cell phone. I finally got myself a new cell phone. I'd had the last one for going on 5 years and it was falling apart. It didn't work. I am crazy amazed having a cell phone that actually properly works again. It's an amazing feeling. So that was something nice I did for myself. When was the last time I read a book that had a major influence on me? In the recent years, I've only read more fun books or interesting books. I wouldn't say that one has had a huge influence on me recently, or I should say listen to, because I do audiobooks more often these days. But there's a bug. But I immediately think of Lovely Bones, and that was back when I was in high school. I read that, and that book I just had a huge influence on me and still does today. I got it. I'm going to be re-listening to it in audiobook form. Can I be alone without feeling lonely? I actually do it all the time, so I should probably be a pro at it by now. What makes me happy? Good days, positive days for me. And that's me, my personal good day things. That would include maybe filming, because I really enjoy filming, or hiking is a big one, listening to music, watching movies, things that I really enjoy doing, spending time with people I care about. Those would make good things, good days. Think of the last time you were really angry. Why were you angry? Do you still feel the same? So I think it was probably the last time I was really angry was when I found out or was told a bunch of people that are supposed to be your loved ones, I guess you could say, were just being extremely judgmental of me. And that's something that I've dealt with the length of my life, but it was kind of the you're a failure at life situation, or you're not doing the things I want you to do, so you're not living your life correctly, type of thing. Not only did it make me angry and upset, but I was very hurt to have those things said to me by, you know, the people that are supposed to care about you, I guess you could say. What was the next part of the question? Do you still feel the same way? I'm not as angry or hurt. It's sad because I've come to expect that now, so I'm not as hurt. And I understand more where they're coming from. I just don't have to agree with them. You can have one of the following two things. Which do you choose? Why? Love and trust. So I would rather have trust because, tricky. For me, there's a sense of almost love or caring. If you have, like, trust within someone, I've had loved ones that have hurt me in the past because that trust was broken. So I would say trust is more important to me because you still have that level of love or caringness if you have that trust. So, thought-provoking questions. You are walking down the street on your way to work. There is a dog drowning in the canal on the side of the street. Your boss has told you if you're late even once more, you're fired. Do you take the time to save the dog's life? Why or why not? Well, I honestly don't think I've ever been late to work a day in my life. I always arrive early to things. I don't think I've ever been late. But that aside, I would save the dog. I'm not going to walk by and let the dog drown. That's not going to happen. Which would you choose? True love with a guarantee of a broken heart, or never loved at all? Why? So, at this point, I would say never loved at all. And this might sound weird, but I'm not a fan of heartache or pain. I don't think anybody is, but like granted, I wouldn't say I've ever been in love. So I think living without it is closer to how I actually live than like finding true love or whatever and knowing like the guaranteed heartbreak. Oh, that would just not be good. It would be a horrible way to look at things. I don't know. My answer would probably be different if I'd, ever been in love or whatever. If you could switch careers without any concern for money, what would you do? Easily something in the film industry. That's easy peasy. I wanted to do that forever. I almost went down that path when I switched things up. What's your favorite thing to do when you're totally alone? I like to randomly dance. I'm not a dancer, like at all, but if I'm alone and have my headphones in, I like to dance. Alright, should we switch back to whisper now? Do you have any irrational fears, and if so, what are they? I have that one fear of like things in water. switching back into the soft-spoken, these are moving on to would you rather questions that are supposed to still be thought-provoking. Okay. So, would you rather never use social media sites or apps again, or never watch another movie or TV show? And movies and TV are a huge part of my life, so I'd have to like get rid of social media as long as YouTube wasn't included. But I love me movies and TV shows. Would you rather have an easy job working for someone else or work for yourself but work incredibly hard? I'd rather work for myself incredibly hard. Most of the time I don't stop working anyway, so it's not too far-fetched for me to constantly be working hard. But I would definitely want to work for myself, which is kind of what I do now. Would you rather have a horrible job but be able to retire comfortably in 10 years, or have your dream job but have to work until the day you die? Now I feel like if it's my dream job, I would be fine with doing it until the day I die. You know what I mean? And the idea of like having those 10 years of like the worst job ever is like, seems just like a waste of 10 years. So if it's my dream job, as I said, I'm always constantly working. I never know how to take a break. So I might as well be doing my dream job until the day I die. Would you rather find your true love or a suitcase with $5 million in it? Okay, I have a question. Do I get to keep the $5 million? Because sometimes, you know, you find the suitcase, you have to turn it in. Do I get to keep that money? Because if I get to keep the money, I'll keep the $5 million, right? Because I've convinced myself that there's not a true love out there for me, so I might as well give $5 million. Oh, I'm such a negative person. Would you rather be able to teleport anywhere or be able to read minds? Oh, teleport. I don't want to read people's minds. Humans are horrible creatures. I don't want to read people's minds. But teleport. Think of all the money you could save on airfare for traveling. Would you rather be in control of fire or water? I think controlling water would be a lot of fun. And water's around a lot more than fire would be. So I'm gonna go with water. Would you rather have unlimited sushi for life or unlimited tacos for life? Oh my god, unlimited tacos. Tacos. Like, I like sushi, but tacos all the way. I could eat tacos every single day. I love Mexican food. Unlimited tacos. That's a dream come true. Would you rather donate your body to science or donate your organs to people who need them? I'd like to donate my organs. Would you rather go back to age 5 with everything you know now, or know now everything your future self will learn? I think I'd like to go back with the knowledge that I have, because that could make for some interesting changes, you know, for my 5-year-old self. Would you rather have unlimited international first class ticket or never have to pay for food at restaurants? I'm gonna go for the food at the restaurants because, like, that can add up. You're going to restaurants all the time. So you can take that money that you save on food and put it for the occasional plane ticket. Would you rather be married to a 10 with a bad personality or a 6 with an amazing personality? Why would you want to be married to someone with a bad personality? Like, I don't care how hot they are. Why would you want to do that? So, I guess I'd rather be married to the 6 with the good personality, because I don't want to surround myself with a bad personality. Would you rather have to read aloud every word you read or sing everything you say out loud? I hate reading out loud. It was horrible in high school. It's still horrible today. So I'd rather sing everything I have to say out loud. As awkward as it would be, I would rather do that. Would you rather have free Wi-Fi wherever you go, or be able to drink unlimited free coffee at any coffee shop? Cheers! Free coffee. I can live without Wi-Fi occasionally, you know, I don't have to have free Wi-Fi everywhere, but a free cup of coffee? Oh my gosh. That would be awesome. Coffee, coffee, coffee. Would you rather live in a house with see-through walls in a city, or in the same see-through house but in the middle of a forest far from civilization? In a forest, of course. My dream house is actually kind of like that, with like, it's more of a modern style, with like large windows and things like that, like in the forest. I'll like insert a picture or something of some of the designs I like, but that would definitely be, you know, the big glass walls in the forest, much better than in the city. Would you rather have all traffic lights you approach be green, or never have to stand in a line again? Never have to stand in a line again would be really nice, because I actually don't mind like red lights or traffic, really. I just like sit in my car and listen to my music, right? So, but having to, you know, go no lines would be very convenient. Would you rather live a comfortable and peaceful life in the woods in a small cabin, or a life full of conflict in a mansion in the city? The cabin. Like, I don't want conflict. I don't care how large the mansion is in the city. I don't want conflict. Would you rather live in a cave or live in a treehouse? A treehouse. I think that would be fun. Especially since they have that like show on HGTV where they like build the custom treehouses that are like super cool. That'd be pretty neat. Right. Shall we switch to whisper again? Would you rather be able to have kids, or would you rather be unable to have kids, or only be able to conceive quintuplets? Okay, so here's the things, folks. I don't know if I even want kids. And I really don't want 5 at the same time. So I'm gonna say unable to have kids, because in turn, for a loophole, if I ever decided I wanted kids, I could always adopt, because I'm totally open to adoption. So, but I don't want quintuplets. No. Would you rather do a TED Talk or sing on stage at a concert with your favorite singer? I have absolutely no idea what I would do a TED Talk about, so I'm gonna go with sing on stage, like with Joan Jett. Let's do that. That would be incredible. And I would probably sound horrendous, but it would be fun. Would you rather inherit $20 million or earn $50 million through your hard work? I'd rather earn it, like, as crazy as it seems, because, like, if I'm earning that much money, you know, obviously I'm being successful, which is very important to me. Something's going right in my life, so I would rather earn it than just inherit. Alright, we're coming down to some of the final questions, folks. Would you rather travel for 5 years in an RV, or travel for 5 years in a sailboat? I'm not sure I could do 5 years on a boat. 60 plus of thought-provoking questions. I hope that you guys found them interesting for this Coffee with Cass. Hopefully you know, enjoyed a cup of coffee with me, or a cup of tea, or you at least relaxed, right? And hopefully you enjoyed the combination of the whisper and soft-spoken, since it was very close tie. If you guys do want to vote on things like that, I've been doing polls on Instagram and Twitter a lot. So if you want to vote on things relating to videos, definitely follow me on social media platforms, okay? Alright. Alright, lovelies. Thank you so much for joining this Coffee with Cass, and I will see you in the next one.